Can I say afternoon? Yes, 1 o'clock. And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Siemens booth here at the Hannover Messe 2018. Hope everybody is feeling good so far and is ready for a challenge. And this is also something new for us. This is the first so-called MindSphere Open Space Challenge. Now, I'm pretty sure our developers here and our clients have heard of this before, of course. Otherwise, they wouldn't be here. Now, what it was, or what it is basically it was an open invitation to all developers around the world to submit their solutions, their ideas to use cases of our clients. And the best ideas were invited to present here live in front of you. So this is going to be very interesting. And I'd like to introduce our first client here. He comes from Mich Technik International GmbH, and he goes by the name of Christian Honemeyer. So welcome, Christian, to the stage. Christian, nice to have you. Now, once again, like I said before, the challenge is basically was open for everybody. Developers were supposed to submit their ideas, come up with some great solutions. Maybe you can introduce your company real briefly. What do you do? How big are you? And what was the challenge? What are you looking for?
Welcome, first of all, to all of you. Like, my name is Christian Honemeyer. I'm CEO and owner of MTI Germany. We are one of the leading manufacturers for mixing equipment for the plastics industry, chemical, pharmaceutical, and food. We are a small, mid-size, family-owned business in the 3rd generation. We have 65 employees in our corporate headquarters in Detmold, Germany. Also, we have a sales and service location in the United States, and we have a licensed partner in Tokyo, Japan. So basically 3 global footprints, as you would call it this way, to serve our clients worldwide. We export about 80% of our mixers to our worldwide clients. So connectivity and like Industry 4.0 is a very big theme for us to help our customers anywhere around the world, anytime.
So what are you actually looking for? What was the challenge here?
Well, our customers operate mixers, so blending equipment. Problem is, whenever a mixer is not operating correctly and the throughput rate or the quality of the compound is not good, if you ask a customer, what is the problem, they normally say, we didn't change anything, it's all the same, nothing was changed. The only way to support our customers is to understand exactly what they want to do, actually what they did on their raw materials, on their blending processes, and so on. And the problem right now for us is that we cannot analyze the data which is available because the data is either not available or, on the other hand side, not correctly presented to us. So with MindSphere and like our whole Siemens system on our blenders, we see a big perspective for the future to go to the next generation and to basically support our customers under the idea of Industry 4.0 and connectivity.
So you must be at least as excited as we are to see what our startups have come up with,
You
right?
bet.
You bet.
Well, I wish all the companies good luck to present your ideas to us, and we are very nosy to see what you did.
All right, thank you very much so far, Christian. You may take a seat over with the rest of the jury. And as you can imagine, a challenge like this will be, of course, hosted and evaluated by a jury. And I'd like to introduce them here real quick, ladies and gentlemen. Sitting on seat number 1 is Daniel Kronin. He is also known as the Pitch Professor. He is an entrepreneur, lecturer, and presenter with a passion and addiction, I can say, for startups. Is that correct?
That's more than correct.
That's
Thank
more
you.
than correct. Nice to have you with us, Daniel Kronin, ladies and gentlemen. Then also with us here today from Next 47 is Vikings Machado. Nice to have you with us. Vikings, also a startup expert, and great to have you here with us today. Christian, we just heard before. Then representing Siemens is Mr. Sönke Ingvarsson. Nice to have you, Sönke. And from Siemens MindSphere, Steffen Stang. Now, you guys know, of course, what this is all about and what you have to basically have your eyes on. Just so you know, the jury will be evaluating, considering the following points: feasibility of the idea, target compliance, market impact, ingenuity. Did I forget anything? Those were 4 or 5 points. You got them on there?
Oh, of course.
You'll be taking your notes. Okay. Now, we're going to do the following. We're going to call up one team after another. Each team has 15 minutes in total for presentation. Okay? We're going to split this up in 7 minutes of presentation and 8 minutes of questions and answers through the jury to the different teams. So I'd like to start off with the first team. Oh, by the way, it's not only the jury that has a vote, it's also you. You are also able to vote for the team you think presented the best idea. You here, but also you at home watching. Now, I think we have there we go. We have an internet address, siemens.com/vote-now is where you can leave your vote, and I'll be calling for this after every session. So once again, we're going to bring up our first team now with a big round of applause. Team Fast Forward. Let's play the video first.
Hi, my name is Alex Pikowski and I work as a data scientist. And I'm really excited to participate in the Siemens IoT 2018 Mindspace Challenge.
Hey, my name is Kajetan Bentele. I was trained as a physicist and work as a machine learning engineer at the moment. I'm looking forward to take part in the Siemens IoT Challenge 2018.
A complex mixing process produces thousands of data points. A human has no chance to understand them without the help of the machine. And this is where our expertise comes in. We create mathematical models which focus on the irregularities in the data.
Siemens MindSphere is a great tool to collect and store data. Our job is to make sense of this data. Our algorithm will be able to detect anomalies when they occur. The operator can then be notified and take action.
We hope to leverage our skills and expertise to make the best out of the Siemens IoT platform.
All right, and let's bring them on stage now live. Here are Alexander Pikowski and Kajetan Bentele. Ah, here they are. Welcome, guys. Nice to have you. So great to have you on stage. I'm going to take much of your time. You're going to get right into it, and I'll be back afterwards, all right? Let's go for it.
Industrial mixing is a complex process that depends on multiple parameters. Thus, the result and the efficiency of the mixing process may be influenced by many factors. In case something goes wrong, it might take a lot of effort and a long time to hunt down the problem. However, we have new resources at our hand to assess the problem of process monitoring. Thanks to Siemens MindSphere, we can collect the data, store it, and process it. However, you do not get the extra benefit from your data without proper analysis. This is where our expertise comes in. We propose the following workflow. We measure machine sensor data at the place where it occurs. Then we transmit and store the sensor output in the cloud. Here we apply machine learning algorithms to analyze and process the data. Finally, the result of our analysis is presented in an online dashboard to inform the human expert.
Now, let me dive into the technology that we use. So we use structural time series to detect anomalies and to detect possible structural changes in the data. And I'll explain to you briefly what this means. So here is some simulated data. And the blue band shows you the normal process. The blue band has been learned through machine learning by the machine. It has not been specified by the user. And then you have some points which are anomalies, which are outside the blue band. And the computer is able to detect them automatically and to compute an outlier score, as you see on the upper panel, the blue one. And the computer correctly identifies these outliers. and helps to find the anomaly in the process. A second point is structural change detection. What does it mean, structural change? Well, think about a machine which is either breaking or maybe overheating, or something goes wrong outside the usual region of operation. At this point, the data contains information about the structural change, but it's not so easy to spot it. So our approach, which uses Bayesian analysis, can compute the score for the structural change and point at the region where the structural change has happened in the time series. And so it helps the human expert detect exactly the point where something bad has happened in the past.
So let me summarize. Our algorithm highlights structural changes and detects outliers. By doing so, it points the human expert into the right direction to hunt down the cause of the failure or to hunt down the cause of the problem. This empowers the human expert, but we think it does not replace him. Thank you very much for your interest.
All right. Thank you very much for the presentation. Now, I'd like to hand over to the jury, open for questions. One question from my side. Where are you guys from, by the way?
We are from Berlin.
From Berlin. All right. From Berlin City to Hanover. Nice to have you. Like I said before, I'll hand it over to Daniel.
Thank you. Thanks for the pitch, gentlemen. First question I would have is, what's your current status? Where are you at?
In terms of this idea?
Yes.
Or, yeah.
So we have the simulated data, and we have tested our method on the simulated data. But the next step would be to take real-world data from a real machine and see how well it performs there, because this is something that we did not have access to so far.
Okay. Gentlemen, any questions at this point?
Grab a microphone. There we go.
Please.
Well, first of all, thank you very much. What I understand is that you're mainly focused now on analyzing the data you got generated by the MindSphere. The thing what we are looking for with MIA, because it says mixing information and analytics, is that we want to combine in the app additional information. So customer names, recipe data, additional add-in, as we wrote in our challenge. Is that on your further mind and you just focused on the analyzing of the data points in the beginning?
So I would say our main expertise is in analyzing data and developing algorithms. But we have in mind that an app would also include further information. And then it would be up to understanding the specific needs if that would be presented through an online dashboard, for example, which would be which you could access through a computer or a tablet, but to include this extra information and also to allow things like access rights so that you can have some sort of user management. I mean, this is all on our mind, but again, like our main expertise would be to help you to detect failures before they actually lead to a complete outage of the machine or so, and that is the extra benefit which we might provide.
Thank you. Sönke.
Thank you for your presentation. And may I ask, how big is your team? Two? Okay. No more in the background, or?
No more people in the background at the moment, no.
Okay, thank you.
What's the viewpoint of MindSphere on this, maybe?
Yeah, actually a couple of questions. First of all, you said you want to support humans by making decisions. About how many data points we really talking here? Because you mentioned it would be probably hard to detect anything. What's the amount of data you're dealing in such a solution?
So such a solution can deal with lots of data produced by the usual sensors, let's say every second. It doesn't matter so much if it's megabytes or data or even more than hundreds of megabytes of data, because this algorithm is not dependent on the size of the data. As long as there is at least some useful information, it will detect it. So data, the size of the data is not an issue. Maybe as long as it's stored somewhere and can get retrieved.
Oh, okay, thank you. And one other question in terms of MindSphere, how do you transfer or what's your plan to transfer the time series data? What type of solution or service for MindSphere are you going to use?
Yeah, we were thinking of like that. To our knowledge, there exists this framework of Mind Connect, which connects the sensor to the cloud. And I mean, that would be something, depending, of course, on the infrastructure which is present in the at the mixing machine. However, I guess that working with MindSphere, that would be the appropriate way to go forward.
Okay, thank you.
Vikings.
From my understanding here, you guys are quite early stage. So basically, you have a concept which you still need to deploy with a certain amount of data to see if it really works in reality. What are your plans? What do you want to do? What are the next steps? Do you want to run a proof of concept? Do you want to start a company? Do you want to leave college? What do you guys plan to do?
We finished college already.
Okay.
The next step is to get real-world data and test this on the concept, thus producing a real MVP. Because what we have here is an MVP in a sense, but only with artificial data. So from our point of view, is not yet sufficient.
And what have you done there? Have you talked to companies already to get there?
No, we haven't, but we hope that this gives us an opportunity here to start working in this direction.
Okay.
Question from me: what's your personal expertise at this point? What's your background? A bit more on your background.
So yeah, I'm coming from physics and worked a long time on sequence data, actually from biology, and yeah, so I have a lot of experience in the area of data science and machine learning algorithm, also specifically in time series analysis.
So I work as a data scientist for data analysis at the moment, working with data smoothing, the data filtering. This is where I come from also from mathematics and statistics and algorithm development.
So I'm understanding both of you as scientists. Would you be willing to make the transition to become entrepreneurs?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And why?
This is the reason
we are
why
here.
we are pitching here.
And last question from me: why are you the right ones to make it today?
Because we have this great idea that nobody else, I think, has tried in this context.
I want to follow up. Why has no one tried that idea? Because you're such geniuses, or because it's so hard?
No, because it's not the usual way to do outlier detection. Usually, when PayPal or Amazon or do outlier detection on let's say financial transactions, they usually do it in a different way. I can go in I think the technical details don't matter now, but they usually have a different way of treating this. This one, the structural time series method, to my understanding, has not been applied to this specific problem because it comes from an econometric modeling point of view.
So you found something that's smarter than what Amazon does? Yes.
Amazon has financial data and transactional data. It doesn't have this kind of time series data, which is machine generated. It doesn't have sensors which are measuring temperature.
Okay.
So I think you shouldn't compare.
I'm
Amazon
loving
is
how
doing a great
humble you
job.
are. I'm liking your humble approach.
I see this could go on, but right now our time is up, and I like the approach, and I think we should give them a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, our first presenters here on stage. Also, congratulations, and also my respect for going on stage first. Being first on stage is never easy. So once again, thank you very much. All right, let's keep it going with our next team. Same challenge, MTI as our client. And now there's no video to them, so I'd like to bring them up right away. From Efficiency Systems, here is Thilo Heffner. So, Thilo, welcome to the stage. You're going to get hooked up there, and then you're just about ready to go. We got it? Can I help you there? There you go. Now, once again, if you just happen to join us, what are we doing here? MindSphere Open Space Challenge. Developers, ladies and gentlemen, were invited to bring in their ideas, their solutions to actual use cases, to actual challenges our clients pose to us. And this is what we're doing now, presenting these to the client, sitting in the jury with 4 other competent gentlemen, and we're going to get right into it. So, Efficiency Systems, Thilo, where are you from?
I'm coming from Lake of Constance. Thank you very much for being here today at the Siemens booth. I'm happy to present Smart Shop Floor now.
The stage is yours.
Thank you. Cool. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for coming here. When I discovered this challenge, I said, OK, MTI is a typical client of efficiency systems. Because we already digitized your machines. You only have to connect them. They are still not connected, but if you connect them, they are digitized. So what is our idea? MTI has challenges like getting data out of the production of machines in order to run machines more efficient. MTI wants to give their customers better machines, not only good machines, but also an efficient production. Reducing waste, make process data visible and on time. And you want to provide weeks of countless emails followed to determine the case. So this is exactly a profile we like. So our proposal is say goodbye to all of this. Say goodbye to fluctuations, say goodbye to waste and weeks of countless emails. How do we do that? Smart Shop Floor is a system where you only have to connect, and then immediately you get all the production data in self-configurable web dashboards online. You see all over the world, anytime, what your machines are doing. And we don't tell you which data you have to see how. This is something you make by your own in the system. So it could be possible that today you are looking for such kind of data, for such kind of information, and tomorrow you're looking for other information. Smart Shop Floor is a system which is able to collect all this data and provides them in a database for you to make your own dashboard. So we are filtering important system information, of course. We make handling recommendations always available via smartphone. The only thing you need in Smart Shop Floor is a browser. You don't need any app. You don't need any hardware. We directly connect to Siemens MindSphere or to the S7 control, and then immediately you have your data in a dashboard available. You also see immediately if alerts and alarms are rising. Smart Shop Floor informs you per push message that something is wrong. So you don't have to have a look anytime on your smartphone. You will be informed automatically. The only thing you need is a web browser. Our second proposal is say goodbye to generate charts manually. Just do it once, do it per drag and drop, easy and without any programming. So, generate your own charts. Also export data to any further system. We don't care what you are doing with this data. We store them in a database, and you are able to give them to other systems like ERP systems or whatever. So how we do this? Smart Shop Floor has a connector interface to your machines. We only have to connect it once, and then we are able to collect this data. We have customers with running machines where we collect every 5 seconds 3,000 data variables. So we collect this data, and in the second step, we store them in a database. This database, you can decide where this database shall be located. This can be in a server environment, it can be in your house, it can be in customer's house. We don't care where the database is located. And then we give you a free configurable web dashboard where can you have a look on this data. We don't care what you want to see, when you want it to see, and how you want it to see. This is up to you today and also in the future. And this is our third proposal, where Smart Shop Floor always with you. Okay, let's have a look how this runs. I go with you now online into the system. As soon as the data came from the network, I show this to you here live in an example. This is an example of a web dashboard where you can see this web dashboard consists out of widgets. So you have a widget catalog where you can say, okay, you want to have a bar chart, a line chart, or let's say a progress chart, or you want to have this nice OEE widget. You select this widget from the catalog, you connect it directly to the machine, and then you have your own dashboard. Here is an example of the catalog of widgets, and these widgets, this catalog is growing and growing with the time. We are producing with the time more and more widgets to that. And then you can set up the system without any programming. Also, your clients can set up the system without any programming. Just give them the access to the system, and then your clients are able to do their own dashboards as well as you can do that. Here you can see this drag and drop example. I go back now, I check if I have a network here. Okay, I don't have a network. Don't mind. So this means the design of the dashboards is drag and drop. You can do this by your own. We don't care what you want, how to see and when. Okay.
All right.
One more thing, one last thing, please.
Okay.
The next module we are coming up now is an answer to the question why your machines are not doing their own maintenance by themselves, organizing their own maintenance by themselves. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Thilo Hefner, efficiency systems, with his proposal, and the jury, I'm sure, has some questions. You look like you're going to go for it. Vikings.
My first one, I did not see the word MindSphere anywhere. Where does it come?
It comes at the OPC UA interface. We are able to connect MindSphere at that level. So it must be just connected.
Well, first of all, thank you very much for the presentation.
Welcome.
But going, and you're from Germany, so you know how sensitive the Germans are on cloud-based data. If I go to one of my clients with the idea that you say you do not care where the data is stored, my pitch is at the end before I even started to sell my customers a piece of equipment. The clear communication of MTI is that whatever is presented here today must be based on MindSphere and the security concept of MindSphere. That's why we are here at the Siemens MindSphere area. So I would be interested about security. And like, you cannot say that you're going to collect your data on OPC UA, which is a nice system, by the way. But if you're in the Siemens world and you're in the Profinet or ProfiSafe base, and you already have the MindSphere connector on board with all the PLCs Siemens is offering, I don't catch it where you really start there.
That's very easy. Siemens MindSphere will make the whole data collection and storing. And we go with our dashboards into Siemens MindSphere and show the widgets in the dashboards. So Siemens MindSphere can be the back end for storing and collecting data in the way you like it.
Well, if I'm not completely on the wrong picture, and I would like to hand over to you, MindSphere is just the communication layer. The data is stored in an Amazon Web Services or in a Microsoft Azure, and the Siemens MindSphere is not really the storage system at all. It's the connector and the security of the idea, which I'm sure that all the audience here is very sensitive on our security of the data we are providing. And I'm sure you would like to add something to it.
Yeah, first of all, MindSphere is leveraging Amazon and Microsoft Azure data center, but certainly there's our security, our data storage on top of their infrastructure. So we're using certain services. I still don't see, I couldn't agree more with what you have said, how this really fits into the MindSphere concept, because I have not really seen this in your concept. So the OPC UA is just which can be used on the field bus protocol, but how is the data really now go with what? How you get this to the MindSphere backend, how it is then actually used in our backend, and how you want to get your dashboards on top of it. I'm missing all these pieces actually.
Okay, so the answer is that Siemens MindSphere can do the whole level of data collection and pushing them in our database. So when I say I don't care where the database is laying, it's only a technical question. Of course, it can be an Amazon cloud, it can be a Microsoft cloud, it can be an Azure cloud. We have a client which says, oh, I want to have my server in my house. And this is possible because we do not have the technical requirements where the data are stored. So we have these three levels. The first level is collecting data. This is Siemens MindSphere. Storing them in a database. The database can be in at client side, and then we go with web dashboards with these nice pictures to analyze the data. So Siemens MindSphere would be the bottom layer for all the data collection.
I can still see you frowning a bit.
Yeah, I'm still wondering if this runs then, for example, in your own local database. You need to make all the authentication and everything work. So this is not, it's a little bit besides the security concept you mentioned before then. So it would really take a lot of efforts actually to convince then clients to do something like this.
So one more answer is we have already one machine company in field with the system. They are using our technique to collect data from the machine control. It's not Siemens MindSphere, it's another system, but as they have this machine control system, of course, we can also use Siemens MindSphere. This is not something which is difficult. We have to do the connection once. And then we have the complete system, the complete security provided by Siemens into the system. So it's the bottom layer we are talking about.
I don't know if they're that impressed at this point, but I do have a very different question. Can you tell us a bit about your company, your team?
Yeah. My company is one person standing in front of you, and the team is a 15-person team which developed the software. So we are running out now the bootstrapping phase. We are on the market since 1.5 years. And we will found a GmbH until end of this year or middle of the year, we're not really sure, in Karlsruhe. And then we will have a 15 employee company which is doing support, which is doing sales, and which supports you worldwide with these issues.
And what's your background, your personal background?
I studied informatics in Constance many years ago, and I was many years ago in field of machine operations with ERP systems.
Okay. Any other questions, gentlemen? Thank you.
Welcome. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Your applause. Tilo Hefner from Efficiency Systems. And once again, if you would like to vote also for this proposal, for this solution, please go to the siemens.com/vote now website. It is open already. You can, by the way, you can vote for your favorite, even if you haven't seen them yet. Just saying. Of course, it makes more sense to see them all first. But hey, if you're watching out there and you know your friend, your company, your boss is standing here right now, you can vote for them already. But let's move on to the next team. And they are from Cote Strike. So let's watch a video first.
Hey, my name is Kai, and I am one of the founders of Cote Strike. We at Cote Strike strive to enable the benefits of the digitalization for our customers. We just founded our company this year and currently building on a data-driven solution to optimize processes in digital advertisement. However, most of our know-how lies on automation and manufacturing, where three of us gained experience as an automation technician. We're so happy to be a part of the MindSphere Open Space Challenge, and now we want to show you some impressions of our work.
Hi, I'm Patrick. One of our previous projects was a 3D visualization of an industrial machine. Using data from a PLC, it can be utilized to show defective components right on your smartphone. This way, maintenance workers can easily find the location of a faulty component. This allows a faster replacement of the part and keeps machine downtime to a minimum.
Hey, I'm Benedict, and I will explain our submission to the MindSphere Open Space Challenge 2018. We decided to work on the case of MTI, the mixing company, because process intransparency is a common problem which we personally faced while working with maintenance groups. Our solution to the case includes connecting all people involved in the mixing process to machine data and to one another. This includes machine operators from different shifts, their superiors, floor managers, experts, and of course people working in quality control. If desired, all these people can use our app to access the process data of all machines connected to MindSphere. The app can be set up to notify the right person if process parameters have been changed. This prevents undesired alterations to the process. In addition, our solution will also provide a parameter time machine, where the historical changes of process parameters can be reviewed and, if necessary, easily be reverted to the last good value. The app can also be used to add comments to a process parameter change to explain what the objective of the parameter change was. Last but not least, we also want to provide the ability to view traces of all process variables and to compare them to previous charges or to data from other machines. The recorded data could be utilized to generate full trail protocols directly in the MindSphere app. The protocols then could be downloaded as PDF or shared with customers and co-workers. This way the mixing process becomes fully transparent. We think our solution would make MTI mixers even better.
So that was basically the entire explanation already, but let's give them on stage, ladies and gentlemen, with a big round of applause here. Benedict, Patrick, and Kai. Hi. Welcome, guys. Hello. Nice to have you.
Hello.
So the stage is yours. Enjoy.
Hello, my name is Kai and I'm from Cote Strike. Together with Benedict and Patrick, I want to present you our solution for the MTI mixing technology case. We have a fourth man here, it's Philip, he's our key account manager. But let's start. First of all, I want to explain you some of our innovative features. So usually the focus lies on connecting raw machine data with the cloud. But in this way, the useful know-how of machine operators or experts is just available for a small group of people. So this is why we implement social features to our app. Let's talk about our first feature. It's the per meter feed. The per meter feed is similar to the Twitter timeline. So you have an overview for all changes that have made to the process. This is so recent changes are displayed on the top, so it is easy to figure out which change may have broke the process. The per meter feed is most of the per meter feed is generated automatically, and there's a manual part which is for comments, so some of the users can explain why they have made this change.
I will now explain one of the most important features of our app, which is the Mixology analytics page. Here you can compare all machine data and also analyze it. But you can also add comments to the data if you know more about what happened at a specific data point. For example, a machine operator can add a comment what maybe the cause of a temperature spike was or how we could solve this problem. You can also define thresholds and detailed set points to explain how normal data looks like so everyone can compare the actual data against the current data. And the app also recognizes trends for easier assessment of the data. Another very exciting feature of our MindSphere app is the parameter time machine, where you can basically time travel in your process. On the top you have a list of all parameter changes, a timeline, and if you click on a specific date, you can compare the parameter values from before with the current parameter values. And the most important point of this is you can also revert the parameter values back to the old value if something broke the mixing process and you now want to go back to the old working value. And if you select a specific parameter, there's also a line chart which displays the time series data of this parameter. But you can also set up different settings per parameter. For example, you can define thresholds. If a parameter is changed by maybe 10%, you can notify an expert, or if it's changed by more than 50%, you can notify a supervisor. You also don't have to know the email address or telephone number of the supervisor. You just specify the role, and the app has stored somewhere else who the supervisor for the current machine is. You can also start what we call a parameter trail, where you change a parameter by, for example, 5 degrees, and a time period after which you can check back on the process if it's still working well. So you change the parameter by 5 degrees, and after 2 weeks, a process expert gets a notification to check back if the parameter has worked, and then he can confirm that the parameter is working well, and he also, within the app, the parameter is flagged as working and is marked green.
We also implemented a powerful reporting feature. With this feature, you can generate reporting templates which can be filled with your machine process data to generate detailed reports of your mixing process. The reports can be trail protocols or production protocols, or can be even configured in any way you like. Every report consists out of multiple elements, which can be, for example, pie, line, or bar charts, or even description text or data tables. As another very important feature, we implemented the possibility to that reports can be scheduled to run daily, weekly, or monthly, so you always stay up to date what is going on in your mixing process. Additionally, reports can be shared as PDF with your coworkers. Now, I want to highlight some of our previous work, which will help us to realize this dashboard solution. We already realized a similar dashboard solution, which helps to optimize process in digital advertising. It analyzes billions of data points to display all requested KPIs, like MindSphere. It runs on Amazon Web Services to provide maximum availability and security. We also did a little 3D visualization, 3D and physics visualization of a little industrial plant, which can be connected to a PLC sim or even S7 CPUs. These were the highlights of our solution. We are happy to provide more information during the QA session.
All right, that was nice. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Now, just watching the jury while they were performing and presenting, when they came to the Mixology analytics chart, I saw some of you nodding your heads like, they thought of something there. Are they onto something? What are your questions?
Please.
Well, first of all, thank you very much. That was very refreshing, and you really hit it on the head. I could really find our machines exactly in your dashboard as you showed it. And I appreciate the efforts because you used our data set points, you used PVC and all the other stuff. It gives us a great impression, basically, what could be behind that app. Let me please understand the structure of your company. You said in the beginning it was founded this year. Is that correct?
Yes.
Where is it based? How many people are you? Who owns it?
So we are 3 developer in the company, and it is based in the south of Germany. And we have a 4th man. He is our key account manager. He managed the whole process. And we got a 3rd developer, which more than 10 years experience, which support us to realize this project.
Well, looking at your presentation, I can tell that you put a lot of time into it to basically use the data to show us something, which I want to say one more time was very refreshing. What's your personal background on studying and?
We 3 of us worked 3 years as automation technicians in the industry, and so we gained a lot of experience how the process in the industry works.
I have a question. How did you get started in this? Because you say you have an industry background. Was there some certain point of frustration you reached, or?
After we finished our training, we worked for a few months, and then we decided to leave the company and chase our own projects.
Okay, that's a humble way of putting it. And there was also one question you didn't answer. How's your company financed? Who owns the company?
It's bootstrapped, so it doesn't have any investors, and it's owned by us for evenly.
Okay, loving that. Gentlemen, any other questions? Please.
I have a question regarding MindSphere. What we have seen, what you have shown here, are this in terms of MindSphere, is this still like mock-ups, or do you have any proof of concepts, MVPs already realized in MindSphere?
This is only mock-ups, but the dashboard you have seen is a real product. So we did the full front end, but it was an advertising project, so it didn't have the MindSphere connection. But we, of course, want to use MindSphere and make this a Node.js app, which then connects to MindSphere APIs and reads the data and then visualizes it in the front end.
And have you already discussed between all 3 of you how you want to store, I mean, how you want to deal with the data? Obviously, we talked about recipe data. Have you already decided what database you might want to use? Or in terms of the technical, did you already have identified your technical concept in more details?
I think we have identified most of the concepts. In the case, it was specified that there are S7 1500 CPUs in the machines and MindConnect Nano PCs, which already connect the data to MindSphere. And there it's stored as time series data, and then we can read it using Node.js from the APIs. And for the user system and the comments, we also want to use Cloud Foundry's Postgres SQL component.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
Just one short, and again, thank you for the presentation. It was very good. One question. Today, when you look at the reports, basically that's a picture from the past. Are you already in a situation where you can make some predictions out of the data that are there? Are you applying concepts which allow you, for example, to say, based on the data which is here, I can see a machine breaking in 3 days from now?
I think this is not really, from the case we read it, that this is not an application that should do predictive maintenance or something only that focuses mainly on the process.
It was just an example. I mean, can you run predictions, any sort of prediction out of the data you were working on? Is this something you were planning to have in your platform?
If it's desired by the customer, we of course can integrate this via native AWS services, Kinesis or something like that.
Okay. Last question from me. What's your company's next milestone? What's the next thing you're working towards?
We want to gain customers in the industry and build a basically a service company for industry data and MindSphere.
If you gentlemen are happy, I'm happy.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you for the questions, and thank you for the presentation. Once again, our gentleman from Cote Strike. By the way, if you wish to speak to any of our teams afterwards, they are here for you the entire day. We have everybody here from Team Fast Forward, who presented first, Efficiency Systems, Cote Strike, we just had right now. And once again, go to the online voting site to vote for your team, for the team you think has the best solution. Once again, siemens.com/vote now. You can also do this. I think we have some QR codes laying out here. All you have to do is scan that in, and it'll lead you right to the site. So let's move on to our next and also last team to present for our client here, MTI. So we're going to start it off with the video once again. Here is Team IO.
Hi, I'm Khushbu Arora. I'm studying Management and Engineering in Ervatiha Akan University with specialization in Technology, Innovation, Marketing and Entrepreneurship. I'm representing Team IO and participating with Suraj Rathore, who is also studying Management and Engineering in Ervatiha Akan University with specialization in Computer-Aided Mechanical Engineering. My strengths are database management, working collaboratively in a team, and being innovative while being a Tableau developer. I thought of participating in this competition as it gives me with an opportunity to put into practice my learnings and increase my knowledge in the competitive technologies. I believe it is one of the best solutions as it gives the managers with an opportunity to view the live data from the machines in a clear and understandable method. The visual representation of data can help them easily and quickly detect the issues in the process, which will help the organization optimize their productivity and will reduce the delays to determine the cause of a problem. As the interactive nature of Tableau dashboards can also help them drill down into the exact issue and the minute details of a particular process, which will help them overcome the challenge at the earliest possible. The dashboard also allows the managers to view the trend of last 1 month or even more, which is customizable, and also provides them with an opportunity of predictive analysis, thereby giving them an option of predictive maintenance of their mixers and add value to their productivity. Thank you.
Okay, so let's welcome from Team IO, Suraj Rathore. Suraj, nice to have you. Now, I bet some of you are surprised. That was, I guess, your team member,
yeah,
right?
She's my team member, and she could not be here today because she's writing an exam at the university right now.
What university are you at?
RWTH Akan University.
Nice, all right. So this is your time. Make the most of it. Here's your audience.
Thank you, Chris. Okay. So let's go to the team. You already met Khushbu on the video. She's studying Management and Engineering in Technology, Innovation, Entrepreneurship, and Marketing. And I'm studying the same course with a specialization in Computer-Aided Mechanical Engineering. So our concept is that we wanted to turn large amount of processed data into understandable, insightful, and interactive kind of a visual communication. And for this, we use Tableau tool. So let's go directly how we approached this project. So it was a 6-step process where it involved acquisition of data, since the machines are already connected through a decentralized periphery to the MindSphere. So we can access the data directly from the MindSphere. Then the second step is parsing the data, because once we have the data, we need to give it a structure. We need to know what kind of data we have. And the third, which is kind of an important step, is filtering the data, because we generate data faster than the speed of light today. So we need to know which data is of importance to us and which data is not of importance to us. And we have to retain the data which gives value. And fourth is choosing the mathematical models for representing our data so as it can communicate itself in a good way. Fifth is, once we have represented all the data, we would like to refine it and rearrange it to make it more interactive, leading to the final step. So let's go how we started off. We started off with a dummy data set that we created. It has some values of torque, temperature, material density, and we have connected it through the Tableau dashboard to an Excel file, which can also be connected to any other data source, such as SQL, or even to the MindSphere if we have an API for that. And the connection type here is a live connection. So Tableau gives us a flexibility that the data will be refreshed in every 15 seconds by default. But we can bring this up to 3 seconds with the help of other APIs. Also, we have the option of having extract data in case we do not want to track the real-time data and we want that, OK, at the end of the day, we want the data to be present at the dashboard, then we can use the extract type. OK, let's go to the next. These are the three screens that we have right now. It's also working there, so you can come to my desk and I can show you how it works. The leftmost is the home screen, which gives you an option to either go to the dashboard directly and have an overview of the process. And the second is just to see the trend line directly if you do not want to see the process. So this is how the dashboard looks like right now. On the right-hand upper corner, you have the option of selecting the date for which you want to see the data. And on the left side, after you have selected the date, you get a pie chart which shows how many unique processes happened in that day, which are represented here by the mixing IDs, and also the number of processes that happen. For example, we can see that mixing IDE happened just only once in a day, whereas mixing ID D happened thrice. And on the right-hand side, for now, we have a bar plot, a bar graph, which is showing the average value of the parameters that we use for different mixing IDs. Here we use a bar graph because we have mocked up a data, and it's not the real data. But in case when we have the real data, we can shift from a bar plot to a bar graph to a bar plot where we have the tolerances of data, and it can be easily visualized that which data or which parameter is falling outside the tolerance limits. And when you come down to the parameters, the bottommost part, it is showing us the trend of the past 1 year for the parameter that we, sorry, not for the 1 year, for 1 month of the parameter that we have selected. For example, here we selected torque, and we can observe that somewhere from 4th April to 29th April, there was a slight increase in the torque value for a particular mixer, but it dropped suddenly between 4th May. So we can figure out what's happening. So this is how this is the overview. But in case we just want to see it for one mixing ID and not for the whole, we can just click on the pie chart, and it shows us the data for that particular mixing ID in that particular day, and also for that particular process over the whole month. So this is how we also get the individual trend. And similarly, we can do it for any other data. So now, finally, moving to the impact and the scope of this concept. It's a single graphical interface, so the managers or the shop floor people can visualize everything in a single graphical screen. It's highly scalable, and it's also plug and play. So once we have created the framework, we just need to have the similar data source and similar data structure, and we can play it into any data source. And it also helps us to measure the compliance and traceability at the machine level, that which machine is not following the tolerance limits. Also, we can relate the machine efficiency with the impact on the finances of the company, since we will be knowing which machine performs, which machine has good efficiency. And the fifth part is more towards the predictive or the preventive maintenance, since Tableau gives us a flexibility of using our packages directly into the calculated values. So we can also go for predictive maintenance, since like we saw the trend of the torque going up and then declining. Then we can also give it a predictive range for the next 5 days what's going to happen. And also, in case we want to implement this solution into any mobile app or any other mobile development platform or app development platform, its mobile app Bootstrap is readily available, which can embed all the Tableau servers and application into any mobile app. Thank you.
All right. Thank you also. That was Suraj from Team IO. Suraj, so the jury, I'm pretty sure, has some questions. How was it for you?
Yeah.
All good? You feeling good? All right. So please, gentlemen.
OK, thank you. Look, Right now you're in a university, correct?
Right.
So are you willing to take this and make this into a company, or what's your thought on that?
Yeah, I mean, I can, if given an opportunity, we can develop this project, and it would also give us an experience to get into the entrepreneurship. Yeah.
And I was unsure. Did you run any test cases, or was it purely dummies?
Yeah, I mean, this was the data set was dummy, but the application that we made on Tableau, it's working and it's running. Yeah.
And what's your guess? How long would you require, or how much time would you need until you'd have a version 1.0?
Well, that depends on the complexity of data and what are the requirements. If it's exactly the same model that we need, then we might just need to change the data source and the database. But I'm pretty sure that we would want something more comprehensive and exhaustive. So for that, it would be depending on what are our requirements and yeah.
Rough guess, how long? A week, a month, a year?
OK, that's a tough. I would say a month to develop, yeah.
With 2 people?
Yeah, with 2 people.
OK, thank you. Anyone else?
Thank you, first of all, for your nice presentation. I was quite impressed to see how you actually structured the entire approach, including the data ingest, parsing the data, data cleansing, etc. And also very pleased that you're using like Tableau, which is tightly integrated in MindSphere. However, I think for us, the solution which is probably really supportive to a machine operator, I think you cannot jump right away in such a data exploration tool. So what I was a little bit missing is more the transparency part, so that you get an overview. And the Tableau is, as I said, it's really more for digging really into data, maybe make some analyses, but this is not what you probably typically do right away, so there should be other stages. Have you something like this in your mind, or is it planned somehow as part of the solution?
I mean, we can also develop the similar platform using JavaScript or Node.js, which is also very compatible with Siemens MindSphere. But yeah, for this particular concept, we chose Tableau because of ease of using and developing faster.
Fragen von dir?
And how did you actually get familiar with Siemens MindSphere? What type of, how was someone helping you, or did you just use our developer documentation? How did you actually get started with?
Well, I read a bit of the developer documentation, but apart from that, I'm also working with Siemens as a working student in Aachen at the R&D facility, where they are now just recently inaugurated the Siemens MindSphere launch. So yeah, getting to know a lot from around is, yeah.
Thank you.
How about any other questions here from our jury?
Seemingly there's no other questions. Then my last question would be for you. What are your next steps going to be? Will you follow up on this no matter what happens?
Well, we can develop something similar to this if we have the requirement for it. In case we have the requirement for this product, we would definitely go for it.
OK.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So that concludes our session here. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chris.
Once again. And let's give all our developers a big round of applause here one time for participating. And maybe we can get you guys back on stage, because now, ladies and gentlemen, our jury will take their time, about 5 minutes. Maybe we can have you back in 5 minutes to evaluate which idea they think is best. And once again, this is your call also. Go to siemens.com/vote now to vote for the team you think has the best solution for our client here, MTI. So can we get everybody back on stage here? Exactly, all teams. Just for a quick round, maybe 1 or 2 questions. Can I have the microphone? That'd be fantastic. Thank you very much. So, welcome back. Welcome back. So, like I said before, we're going to take the time now. Let's say their jury's going to take their time to see who has, in their eyes, the best idea. How was this for you now to present here? Have you done this before?
Yes, I did some presentations before. This presentation, of course, was in a tremendous frame, such a booth, such an environment. I have never seen this before, and I thank you very much that I could be here today.
That's nice of you to say, and I think this is also a chance for everybody, for all developers to present themselves. You guys have a nice table over there the entire day. Also, once again, for you, all right, if you're interested in the different applications and the solutions they just presented, please feel free to ask, and I think they'll be willing to answer any questions. So was this your first try at a pitch session?
It was my first pitch at a trade fair, but I used to pitch in other locations, smaller ones. So that's a different level, of course, here. But I liked it.
So what was the main reason you actually participated? Like, what was your why? Was it because the challenge was something you were very interested in, or was it also to be able to present yourself?
So yeah, on the one side, it was a chance to apply our expertise to a real-world problem. And on the other side, yeah, I never participated in a pitch before, and it is great to be here. Thanks a lot.
So how about you, gentlemen? You guys, I suppose, also first try, at least on a stage like this. How did you experience it? How was it when the jury started asking questions? Was that a good feeling, or was it more like, I'd like to get off stage now?
No, it was an awesome feeling. I felt like Steve Jobs for the first iPhone pitch. So yeah, it was really cool, and we enjoyed it.
So what are you hoping from your presentation here now?
So we can promote ourselves to show the people what we can, and yes.
So maybe I'll pass the. You have a microphone on.
Yeah.
Suraj. Do you know if your colleague here, what's her name?
Khushbu.
Khushbu.
Yeah.
Was she watching?
I don't know. Actually, she would be at the same time giving a presentation at the uni. I'm not very sure if she was watching, but I'm sure that she would watch it if she didn't.
So since when are you in Aachen? Where are you actually originally from?
I'm from India, and I'm in Aachen for the past 1.5 years. I'm doing my master's there.
All right.
And Khushbu, she just arrived 6 or 7 months back.
Oh, wow. And you guys started working on this project. When did you guys hear about this project in the first place? This is not so long ago, right?
Yeah.
This is also important for our audience to know. When did you hear about the project?
I'm not very sure about which date was it. Probably it was in February or March.
So just about a few weeks ago, basically.
True.
You only had a few weeks' time. How about you? How was that? Was that like a quick shot? I mean,
yes,
you only have a few weeks.
It was really a quick shot. I heard 14 days before this fair.
Oh, wow.
From this challenge, and I put my data into the web, and then I could present today. So this was a very, very tough time.
But I hope also a time full of good experiences.
Absolutely.
And also, once again, the chance to present yourselves here. I think you won't get a better chance than this right here today. So once again, if you're watching now, please go to siemens.com/vote now to vote for your favorite team. I think, once again, you guys were all fantastic here on stage. It takes guts to get on stage to present your idea. This is exactly what we've been looking for here, all right? Real solutions to real challenges in front of real clients. And you can say what you want, but that is not an easy task. So we're going to wait another couple of minutes until our jury gets back. In the meantime, once again, to our people watching now, everything you see here is being streamed live, by the way. So you can also go to the YouTube channel to check out the different presentations. Right after our challenge, we'll get into another presentation talking about Amazon Web Services and how they work together with MindSphere. So we're going to keep it going here throughout the entire day. So once again, gentlemen, thank you. I think our jury will be here in just a couple of moments. And maybe we have 1 or 2 videos. Oh, that's what we need to do now. You got it already. OK. So I'm going to get this. This is yes, exactly. So we had an online voting, like I said before. Just a couple of minutes ago, my last announcement, you were able to vote for your favorite team online. I hope some of you in the audience did it, and I hope a lot of you at home also. And we have the results, OK? So the winner, ladies and gentlemen, from the online voting is And this has nothing to do with the jury voting later on, just so you know. The winner will receive a voucher for the next MindSphere conference, which will be taking place in Berlin in September. And this team, winner of the online voting, will be going straight to this conference then afterwards. So the winner of the online voting is Team Cote Strike.
Darf ich dich ganz kurz unterbrechen? Ich würde kurz den Moderator ablösen. Lass uns in einer Minute reden.
So, congratulations. These are 3 vouchers, one for you, and one for you. Congratulations to that already. So the viewers at home, in the audience, they liked it. Now the question is, though, what did the jury like best, and why? So, Daniel, you want to come on stage?
I do. Thank you very much.
And share the results with us.
Thank you. First of all, I'm loving the way you're saying hi to me. Can I have a bit of an applause?
Yeah.
I'm loving the energy in the room. Thank you very much. So, it was fun. It was very strong. All participants pitched hard, pitched their little hearts out. Thank you so much to them from us as jury. But at the end, it was quite a clear result. It was pretty straightforward because there was one team that really took the whole thing a level further.
Okay.
A level further, drove it forwards with so much more passion and a lot of love and detail. And as a team we strongly believe in, we're quite curious to see what's going to happen. Should I announce the winner?
Yeah, I think we want to know who's going to take home the prize.
Yes, so let me just kind of stand here that no one looks into my cards because... By the way, now is the right time for me to invest in them because the valuation is going to go up in about 10 seconds.
You know what we should do? We should kind of get the right atmosphere going on.
Yeah, we should.
So we need a. Oh.
Okay. And the winner is Cote Strike. Congratulations, Cote Strike. That's you over there.
Team Cote Strike.
Come along. Stand here. And maybe we could also have our client to join us.
So thank you once again, Daniel, also for supporting us here. Once again, I think the interesting thing here is to see what's going to happen next.
Yes.
So what is basically the next step now, Christian?
Well, first of all, we're gonna let it go for a couple of minutes and use the stuff what you showed us. And then I'm sure if you are available that we're gonna have a further discussion right here at the booth, if there is an opportunity to get to the companies together. Once again, thank you very much for your efforts you put in and for your presentation. It was really fantastic. And I hope that this is going to be a start for you as well in the big Siemens community and giving your company additional projects in the future. So congratulations.
Congratulations, gentlemen.
Thank you very much also for participating, Christian. The challenge, that was our first open space challenge here. We'll be back again tomorrow with another one, actually 2 challenges we'll be hosting tomorrow. And now we're going to take a quick break and we'll be back at, let me see, 2:30 I think, right? 2:30 with our next presentation talking about Amazon Web Services, how this goes together with MindSphere, and we'd love to see you again then. So thank you for joining us. You've been a fantastic audience, also at home, and have fun here at Siemens. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.